Hi guys, Bob for Bob's Movie Review here, and today I want to review for you guys a movie I just saw today in theaters called Spider-Man Homecoming. So this is the Spider-Man reboot brought to you this time from Marvel Studios instead of from Sony. If you guys didn't know, the second Amazing Spider-Man movie with Andrew Garfield kind of killed the franchise. There was a lot of hate over that movie. People didn't really enjoy it. Myself, I kind of liked it, and I didn't really understand why it killed the franchise. I would have liked to definitely seen another one. But they decided... Now, I don't know exactly how it all went down, because Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man movies, but there was some kind of deal where Marvel was going to buy it back, or Sony was going to let them use it, but they can still, have the rights as well. And I don't know how that all turned out. I forget. But Marvel decided to make a Spider-Man movie to fit. He was in Captain America: Civil War, and so they're making his own movie now. There is a certain amount of fatigue with Spider-Man having, the three Tobey Maguire movies come out, and everybody pretty well liked those. The third one, is the one people hate on, but people love the first one, and I think people like the second one too. It's been so long since I've seen him, I don't remember him real well. But Tobey Maguire was great as Spider-Man, and I think he kind of got too old for the character, so they rebooted it and started the Andrew Garfield. Now, instead of being Spider-Man, it was based on the Amazing Spider-Man. And I'm not going to pretend to know the comic books at all, but it's slightly different story with the Amazing Spider-Man series. So kind of changed a little bit, but we saw a lot of the same stuff. Another backstory, origins movie or whatever with the Amazing Spider-Man. And we saw some of the same villains, and it just felt like, man, that Spider-Man movie isn't even that old, is it? Like, we're already seeing this over again. And now, just a few years later, we got another origin story with Spider-Man Homecoming. Luckily, they really didn't focus on the origins. This takes place shortly after Civil War, so he's already Spider-Man. Tony Stark has given him this nice Spider-Man suit, and that's what you see in Spider-Man Homecoming. Tony Stark's kind of mentoring him and trying to develop him into a superhero, because right now he's only like a 14-year-old kid. And that was one thing too. He seems kind of young in this movie, which I think it takes a little bit away from it. Not a lot, but he just seemed really young. And I know a lot of people made memes and stuff talking about how Aunt May is like 60 or 50 or whatever, and he's like 14, and like they keep getting younger. Aunt May and the Tobey Maguire was super old, and then Aunt May and Andrew Garfield was a little younger, and then Aunt May and this one is like a lot younger. So whatever. So this movie, to me, though, has that great Marvel Studios feel, a great blend of, drama, action, comedy, romance. It's got it all. I did feel like maybe they felt like this movie was going to be funnier than it was. Like, I kind of thought like the jokes weren't that great. And I think what it is a little bit, too, is, like I say, the fatigue of just seeing these origin stories so many times within the last... I can't remember when that came out, 15 years ago maybe. I really can't remember. Seeing the same story 3 times, it gets old. Thankfully, in this one, they use a new villain that they haven't had in any of the other Spider-Man movies yet, that I don't believe, played by Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton is so awesome. Like, he's such a great actor, and he's having such a big resurgence. He kind of went away for a long time, and now he's back, playing the greatest Batman ever. And then what was he in that? Was he like the Hawk or something like that? Now he's the Falcon. It's like he's keeps playing superheroes or supervillains or whatever. So, as I said, Spider-Man is kind of training and learning to develop his skills, and they're cleaning up after the events of Civil War. You know, all the alien damage and debris and all that, and they started developing like these super alien weapons, and of course Spider-Man has to solve it all while being discouraged by Tony Stark. And it's a really fun movie, guys. I thought it was really funny and really enjoyable. I think this is, now I was trying to compare this one to the original Tobey Maguire, and it's been so long since I've seen it, I just really don't even want to make a comparison. I saw it with a friend and I said, well, what do you think's better, this one or the Tobey Maguire? And he said the same thing. It's been so long, it's really hard to compare. But this is definitely one of the better Marvel movies, I think, for sure. Maybe the best Spider-Man movie. It was really fun, and I think they just did a really good job, all in all, making this movie. If it wasn't for, like I say, the fatigue of so many times seeing this origin story over and over, I think it would have been even better. But I think for a score on this one, guys, I'm going to give it a 8.5 out of 10. I think it's a really good one. Up there in the Marvel, up there and everything. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this review, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos. And I'll see you guys next time.